able to, they're a lot more receptive than adults are. So if you actually take that approach, the reason I'm saying this is because if I take my daughter as an example, she comes from a very privileged position where she's got to experience my father as well as me. And so she doesn't really have a blinkered approach to anything at all. Creativity comes sort of naturally out of the box thinking. This so-called out of the box thinking, which has become such a buzzword today in any field or industry, you must be able to think out of the box. You know, the really creative people don't know that the box exists. You know, it's a very simple thing. What is the box? We don't know what the box is. Why are you restricting somebody to the box and in relation to the box, think out of the box or inside the box? For me, there's no box. Why are you putting the box in the first place there in the child's mind? You know? So, education to me, unfortunately, is a very blinkered approach. And then when they finish their mandatory education, then you're telling them sort of open your blinkers out and think out of the box. That's not possible, I'm sorry. Because you've sort of raised a generation of kids, or most of them, who have been brought up with that kind of an approach. And then the other question I get asked by parents is, why is art important? And you know, it's a very valid question, because I think we as art professionals, we haven't given them meaningful, no-nonsense, logical, substantial answers for these kind of questions. We haven't done our job well enough, because if that question is being asked today, that means that the lay person doesn't know why art is important. Deepa said it's seen as a frivolous or a whatever kind of an activity. It's an indulgence. It's not an indulgence. In fact, I do a lot of talks at schools, and starting from government schools, by the way, not just the well-funded schools. And my starting point from where I come is that art is a necessity, it's not a luxury. And if you start thinking that art is a luxury, then you don't know what you're talking about. Art is that one faculty to me that will basically enable you, unlike any other faculties, and yes, all the other faculties are important. I don't say that art is more important. But unlike other faculties, art is a faculty that will enable you to better be yourself, to enhance who you really are, unlike a lot of the other faculties that you may sort of indulge in or sort of enhance. So that's one thing I wanted to say. The other thing I wanted to say was, we are talking about contemporary art. And very relevantly, contemporary art needs to be contemporary. Otherwise it's just art. And for contemporary art, so what is contemporary art? Contemporary art is art of today. So that again can take on very vague definitions. And to classify people into contemporary art or out of contemporary art would also be probably a little dicey or probably a mistake. But yes, contemporary art has to be, the art of today means the approaches of today. Even the subject matter may be historically, dated, or dated in the sense not outdated. I don't mean outdated. I'm saying it could be a historical subject that you're picking up, like what I did. It's a very historical subject with the boatmen of the Ganga and the Yamuna, which was the series that Deepa was referring to. It's a very historical, very religious, very cultural subject, but hopefully, I don't know how successful the series is in terms of the work itself, but hopefully the approach and the technique is contemporary. And hopefully it falls into the contemporary art genre squarely and flatly. But the point is that contemporary art has to be contemporary. And why does it need to be contemporary? It has to be contemporary so that it is able to relate to a wider audience, to a mass audience. It's all of you, I can sort of venture a guess and say you're all participating in contemporary art, whether you like it or not, whether you're aware of it or not. You know, your design sensibilities are probably shaped by contemporary art, but we're not really aware of it. So that's the ability that contemporary art has. And unless we travel and expose ourselves and educate ourselves, we don't realize that. So that's my answer.
Great. Thank you, Shubho. I think there are a lot of artists in the audience to have a contemporary approach to art. I think they're all going to be benefited by your insights. Thank you very much indeed. And now, before I even begin to ask a question to Mr. Balan, I cannot thank you enough for being in this panel first and foremost. And I would say that we're really lucky to have an artist like Balan Nambiar in our midst, in the same city that we live in, and in the same period that we live in, because he comes with such a vast and rich experience of 6 decades of being in this industry, and Balan's contribution to the young and emerging artists is so immense. It starts at the very roots. He teaches children every Sunday, and some of his, most of his students have now grown up to become very, very successful contemporary artists. So, Balan, first of all, thank you very much. And I think you told me why you wanted to be in this panel, and I'm sure you're going to share it with the audience too. My question to you is very short, simple, and straightforward, but I know the answer is extremely